What are the main differences between INFJ and ESFP? Let's get into it. These two types are very, very, very different from each other. ESFP leads with extroverted sensing and has an auxiliary of introverted feeling. INFJ leads with introverted intuition, has an auxiliary of extroverted feeling. The similarities is that the dominant and fourth function of the ESFP is the same as the dominant and the fourth function of the INFJ, except for flipped. So they're actually sort of shadows of each other in a certain way, that each dominant function will see the benefit of the other's dominant function, but also see the essentially the judgment that they have towards their own fourth function projected onto the other person. What I mean by this is, like, if I'm an ESFP and I have an intuition bubble up, it often feels unsettling. It often feels untrustworthy, or something that you can't really rely on. A future, like having a vision of the future as an ESFP is debilitating, because your strength is in showing up in the present moment. Extroverted sensing is all about being in the body, all about showing up and being spontaneous in the moment, and that's the strong suit of an ESFP, of moment to moment living based off of their sensation and their inner moral compass with the introverted feeling and the auxiliary. INFJ is going to see that as reckless, is going to see that as something they shouldn't trust, because the INFJ has a fourth function of extroverted sensing, and it's going to be a little voice in the back of their head that's like, you should be more present, you should be more spontaneous, you should be more capable of showing up in the moment. And so then there's going to be some sort of judgment towards that in the ESFP by the INFJ, if that makes sense. Sometimes it can be from afar, it can be admiration of the extroverted sensing dominant, right? But close up, it can feel claustrophobic, or not claustrophobic, sorry, it can feel threatening to the invulnerability that the INFJ really seeks. ESFP needs freedom. It needs novelty. It needs new experiences. It doesn't want to plan. It wants to show up. INFJ wants to plan so that they know how to handle once they're in the situation. The ESFP understands that the more they plan, the more anxiety they will have in the moment, because it will come against reality. It will come against the present moment. Your plan will, as an ESFP. There's many, many more things I could go in with these two, but they're really going to have a big difference in feeling. The inward moral compass of the ESFP's introverted feeling versus the INFJ's extroverted feeling, which is more focused on the community and general moral and ethical consensus of their peer group.